act right for this. Okay. I'm going to try one note again. All right, so in this problem, we are asked to, okay, we're given that a Ferris wheel is 20 meters in diameter. All right, so 20 meters goes from one end to the other end. Okay, so they're not giving us the radius, they're giving us the diameter. And it's boarded from a platform that's 1 meter above the ground. The 6 o'clock position on the Ferris wheel is level with the loading platform. The wheel completes one full revolution, all right, in 10 minutes, right? So that would be actually be our period, right? The time it takes to complete one cycle. Then it says a function h of t gives a person's height in meters above the ground, t minutes after the wheel begins to turn. All right, so we actually find the amplitude, the period, the midline, and we ask how high off the ground is a person after 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to write down, hopefully this is going to last. Okay, so the amplitude that's equal to the diameter cut in half. All right, so we're going to take whatever that diameter is and we're just going to divide it in half, and that's going to give us the amplitude. The period, that's equal to the number of minutes for one complete revolution. All right, so we'll just simply take the number of minutes it takes to make one complete revolution, and that would give us our period. The midline, that's equal to the diameter, okay, cut in half, plus the loading platform height. Because you got to adjust for that platform height. And then we'll talk about the last one in just 1 second. But here are the, I guess, the formulas for the first three. We have the amplitude, the amplitude should be the diameter divided by 2. The period is just the number of minutes it takes to complete one revolution. And the midline is the diameter cut in half, right? That same amplitude, but we have to account for the height of the loading platform. Okay. So if I go back to all right, so for our example, the diameter is 20. So we're going to divide the diameter in half. So we would have an amplitude of 10. The period is the amount of time it takes to complete one revolution. So that's 10 minutes, right? So they give us the unit of minutes. And then we have the midline. So the midline is the amplitude, which is 10, plus 1 meter, which is to account for the height of the loading platform. So the midline is 11. Okay, so now we're asked for the height off the ground after 5 minutes. Right? So keep in mind that 10 minutes it makes one complete revolution. So it's going to go from like 0 to 360. In 5 minutes, it's only going to travel half the distance, right? But that would actually put us at the very top, right? If you think about a Ferris wheel, and if you're at, I'm going to see if I can draw a diagram. So let's just say, right, we have our Ferris wheel, right, and you're bored on the Ferris. Oh my goodness. All right, and you board on the Ferris wheel here, right, and it would take 10 minutes, right, for you to travel one complete revolution, right? So keep in mind that this thing is 20 meters in diameter. So in 10 minutes, you'll go from where you start back around to where you start, right? But in 5 minutes, which is half the time, that would actually put us at the top of the Ferris wheel, right? So at the top of the Ferris wheel, I'm actually 20 meters from the ground, plus the boarding height, which is that 1 meter. So after 5 minutes, you should be 21 meters off the ground. Let me explain this last one again. So, all right, it's 10 minutes it takes to make one complete revolution, right? So if you're boarding, right, if you're boarding the Ferris wheel, all right, and then it starts, 5 minutes later, you're at the very, very top, right? Because 10 minutes, you'll be back down at the bottom. So 5 minutes, you're at the very top. So your height above the ground is the actual height of the Ferris wheel, which is 20 meters. Plus there's that one additional meter for the loading platform. So that would put you a height of 21 meters in the air. Okay. So again, the amplitude is just the diameter divided by 2. The period is the amount of time it takes to complete one revolution. The midline is simply the amplitude plus the loading platform height. And then we're going to be off the ground. I've noticed something about this problem. They're going to always give you half the time it takes to make one complete revolution. All right, so they're going to give you like 2 minutes. Okay, because in order to figure out 2 minutes, you need a little bit more information. All right, but we can figure out 5 minutes because that's exactly half, and we would be at the very top of the Ferris wheel. All right, so hopefully that